Alrighty, everybody. Y'all miss me? Did you miss me? I know it's been a couple weeks. Sorry, Neil. uh, trying to get some chicken Alfredo cooked up for the kids to eat, so that they can have dinner here, and yeah, so yeah, pasta. Gotta make sure that it don't boil over and wreck the stovetop, right? um, yeah. So Marco, did you notice you notice that on my good old, hey, let me open up. Let me go to my inbox and switch. Oh, can I do? I don't know if I can do that on here. Hold on. Let me try something. I might have to forward or here. I'll do it this way. Download pics. So yeah, if you looked at the thumbnail like Marco did, yeah, my Christmas lights, just the lights that go around the edge of the roof line, those are still up. They don't turn on anymore. I don't turn them on at night anymore, but they are up. I actually I got lazy last year and left them up all year long, and so that way this past Christmas time, I didn't have to put them up. I just had to plug them into the timer and set the timer, and yeah, so I'm gonna go and do that again this year. I mean, just like no nobody in the neighborhood bitched or moaned or complained about it, and I really didn't care about them being up there, and the wife didn't bitch about it either, so Mrs. Urban was okay with me being lazy with it. So they are held up there not by the little cheap plastic clips that you can buy, but they're held up there by, believe it or not, your binder clips, your little black and silver aluminum binder clips. They're held up there with those every 2 feet, 2 to 3 feet or so. Yeah, we do have an HOA, and you know what? Because they don't, after Valentine's Day, I leave them off, and nobody complains. I've not gotten any complaints. The HOA people have not, you know, made a deal about it. We've got a very small neighborhood. I would say the price range of our homes these days range between 230, $240,000 houses to to about $400,000 houses. So I mean, it's medium wealth type homes. 3 bedroom, 4 bedroom homes mostly, and nothing super fancy, but obviously not trashy. They're all fully built homes, no modular homes or trailers or anything like that. So I want to say there's about 65 to 67 houses. I don't think we're quite at 70 houses. There's two being built right now in the neighborhood. One that's like just down the street from me, and then another one almost on the opposite side of the neighborhood. So, and they're doing surprisingly good as far as, I mean, knock on wood, there's not been any construction debris that's caused anybody to get holes in their tires. So again, knock on wood. Uh, maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll stay that way, and they'll do a good job on their construction sites building homes, because that's usually like a big fear when you have a new construction, a new home being built in your neighborhood, that that you run the risk picking up nails or screws or whatever. Yeah, bad, bad, bad. So yeah, if you saw the thumbnail, Urban got a new car. I got a new car. My transmission died on the good old SUV that I had. B&A, it is not a fast car. Uh, so the SUV that I had, the Mitsubishi Outlander, it was a 7-seater, and I drove that son of a gun hard, like ran it hard, like as far as towing and driving way too fast in reverse because I'm pretty good at it. Uh, I love to back into spaces. I love to back into my driveway so that when I'm leaving my house, I am not backing out of the driveway and into the street. I'm just pulling straight out, straight forward. So, and my driveway is not super long. Oh, I mean, it's more than 130 feet. It's probably around 175 to 200 feet long. So I have a decent length for a driveway. It's not a short one. Um, and so yeah, I tend to whip the car in backwards and race it to the uh, to the garage door pretty quick. Yeah, my Mitsubishi Outlander was just a front wheel drive. It was not the all wheel drive. It was a front wheel drive, and it was the 4-cylinder rather than the 6-cylinder. Really, honestly, for the medium sized SUV that it was, is better to have the 6-cylinder for the sake of pulling anything. Uh, it still had it was a 2.4 2.5 liter. It was a good size. It was a good size 4-cylinder, and the transmission was a fairly good transmission. Just I ran it hard. I towed my enclosed trailer. I towed more than a number of times with well over the towing capacity ratings on that vehicle. Yeah, so I put it to the test more than a number of times, and got 208,300 some miles. So almost 208 and a half. Yeah, I was starting to get up there. So with pushing that thing as hard as I did for almost 8 years, I would say that it did all right. It did okay. Getting after 200,000 miles, things can happen, and that's what happened. So I actually sold it today to somebody for a whopping $550, which is what either one of the pick apart places was going to offer me to take it off my hands, anyways. So at least the guy that I sold it to this morning, he's going to fix it and have his wife drive it with kids. So yeah, once you put a newer transmission in it, a gently used transmission in it, that thing should go for another 80 to 100,000 miles with just a few minimal repairs along the way. The other typical things that wear out. So hopefully that ends up working out for him. Hopefully that car ends up getting another 60 plus thousand miles put onto it and enjoyed and used, rather than sitting in a pick apart lot, rotting and slowly having some stuff come off of it. Hold on, B&A. I see your question, man. Hold on. I I took some photos. Why the hell? Let me see if I can share. Will it let me? Here we go. Okay. All right. So this is the car that I got. I got a 2022 Hyundai Venue. And that's what she looks like sitting in the driveway. It's a 22, and it had a little less than 50,000 miles on it when I bought it roughly 2 weeks ago. Yeah, so it's a little compact hatchback, basically. I mean, again, most places will, even the dealerships and the Hyundai manufacturer calls it a compact SUV or slash crossover. But really, isn't that all a hatchback is? It's just a compact SUV, a roomy hatchback. That's what a crossover is. No, um, so it is a four-cylinder. It's only got, I think, around 170 um, horses. So it's not fast by any means, but it is a very lightweight little car, and it gets insanely good gas mileage. It gets 34 miles to the gallon on the highway, it it gets like 30, 29, 30 in the city. So where I live, the city that I drive in, because a lot of the roads everybody goes 50 to 60 miles an hour on for decent stretches. It kind of is like a little bit of a mixture. So I'm seeing myself getting, the car is getting about 31 to 32 miles per gallon driving around town, driving where I drive. And then when I get on the highway, I'm easily getting 34 to 35 miles per gallon. This thing does really good gas wise for being a very comfortable, again, like a roomy hatchback. It's 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 nice. I like it for the sake of what it does for me and what my needs are. Is it the pickup truck that I want? Hell no. Oh man, I want a pickup truck so bad. I just don't have the finances, nor do I have the desire to spend over $30,000 for a pickup truck right now. I just don't want to do that. So this is what I got. This is what I ended up with. Yeah, dang Ross. That's what I should get. Um all right. Oh, that's what you get. Yeah, you get 15 and a half miles per gallon with your V6. So, yeah. Thank you, Splitting Slices. I'm telling you, haven't been 8 years from the last time I did the go round of the car purchasing process. Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, I think that's the longest I've gone in owning one vehicle between vehicles. I think the next longest time that I had a car was like 5.5 years. So I'm doing better. I'm doing better as far as hanging on to my vehicle for a little bit longer. So hopefully I can this car. Well, this car will actually probably most likely in about 5 years go to my daughter and end up being her car, as long as it don't fall apart before then. I was trying to save my old SUV, which was a 2014. I was trying to get that thing to go another 3 or 4 years, so that I could give that to my son when he graduated high school. So it's Kathleen. It's just a 5-seater. So you have the two front seats, and then you have the bench seat across the back. And again, being more of that crossover roomy hatchback, the back seat is fairly wide um, compared to like a sedan. So it is fairly comfortable in the back. I sat in it for about 10-15 minutes just to get a feel for how the back was, because we do have a bunch of teenagers. Obviously, I can't haul all the kids plus myself in it. Is with it only being a 5-seater. I was barely able to do with my 7-seater SUV. I was barely able to haul all 6 of the kids together with myself. But that's what we have Mrs. Urban's car. And Mrs. Urban, I don't have a picture of it, but Mrs. Urban ended up just a handful of days ago, Monday. Yeah, at the beginning of the week, she went and got herself a new vehicle. No, it wasn't. It wasn't entirely the fact that the that when I got a new car, it made her want a new car. No, we ended up the last time I we purchased vehicles, we both got vehicles kind of at the same time uh, as well. B&A, hers is nicer in some ways. I would say in some ways, what she ended up getting, she traded in her in her Honda Pilot. Didn't really have anything wrong with it, um, but she was kind of just over the last couple of years, she's probably put about $2,800 into mild repairs. Just things that wore out here and there. So over the last couple of years, she's put in almost $3,000 in repairs to it, and at this point, and she put over 230,000 miles was what was on it on her Honda Pilot, and it was a 2013. So again, both of our vehicles were over 10 years old, and, and had well over 200,000 miles. So we were both due for new cars, anyways. See, there's Mrs. Urban there. So yeah, she's really happy. She was debating very heavily, and just always asked for my influence and opinions and help with the research part of it. But she was flipping between getting a newer Honda Pilot versus getting a Chevy Traverse. And I'm not a huge fan of Chevy. In fact, I hate most of their cars. I just don't feel like they make them for the longevity. Like they always, Chevy's been for the last 7 years or so. Their cars don't have the reliability that they used to. Um, but that's in general for most of your car manufacturers, anyways. But yeah, that's just I'm not thrilled about how Chevy's done things with their vehicles over the last 6-7 years, but their Traverses are pretty decent. They're pretty darn good. And the Honda Pilots, the newer Honda Pilots, just again doing the research, they just don't have the reliability that Honda was so well known for. They just like handfuls of years had this issues or those issues or some other issues. So like, and then the third vehicle that she was considering besides a Pilot, the Traverse, and then the other one was she was possibly looking at going with a Hyundai, like I got. She was looking at their big 8-seater SUV, the Palisade. Yeah. So out of the three of them, the one that had like the most space for your second and third row and trunk, and that got the best gas mileage, um, and being able, and then the next thing was being able to find one. So all factors included, the the Traverse kind of won out between those three vehicles, and she was able to find one at a really, really good price for these days, for how much painstaking it is trying to buy a used car in today's used car market. She got a really good deal on a really nice Traverse. Dang Ross, what you asking? What years have troubles, or or were you trying to spell out Traverse? What years her she got a 2021 Traverse. So again, used cars, and that's kind of where, in my experience over the last 3 or 4 cars that I've purchased, um, that's kind of where the sweet spot is in the market, where you're not paying, full price or over MSRP, getting a brand new vehicle. I've never been one to really go for getting a brand new vehicle, car vehicle wise. Motorcycles the exact opposite. I always feel like with a motorcycle you should buy brand new, but that's just me. That's how I feel about that. But so like getting a car that's about 5 years old, that seems to be the sweet spot for getting your best value. You know, that it's old enough to where the depreciation has already pretty much happened and has gone to a not so wavering amount, and then but yet you still have the greater bulk of all your safety features, more recent safety features, and all the bells and whistles and stuff are not ancient, you know, uh, and and then you get in something that's not too terribly old that has a crap ton of miles or multiple owners, or running into vehicles that have been in accidents and all that stuff. So usually finding something that's 2.5 to 5 years old is kind of the sweet spot. And yeah, so Mrs. Urban loves it. She loves it. I forget how many she had. What was it? Somewhere around 64 to 67,000 miles on it, something like that, for 2021, which is not bad. So yeah, and what I love about the little Hyundai Venue that I got is Hyundai's got an amazing powertrain warranty set up. So even with it being a used vehicle, buying it from the dealership, it's a 6-year, 60,000 mile warranty, powertrain warranty. And then if you buy a brand new Hyundai, it's 10 years, 100,000 mile warranty. So again, like that outbeats every other car manufacturer out there, pretty much, basically. Yeah. So the fact that Hyundai, has that kind of reassurance that they're going to stand by, and if anything happens, to your motor or the transmission or the alternator or anything major like that, they'll fix it at no charge. Drop in new ones at no charge. So yeah, yeah. A lot of it's been really difficult over the last 3 or 4 years that like a car that's about 2 or 3 years old costs almost the same as much money as a brand new car. Just the thing is that with the brand new cars, you have the dealership fees are higher, the taxes on them are higher. Like you end up still saving money by buying a gently used car that's only a handful of years old. But yeah, so who likes the Raptor, the Ford Raptor? I've not really checked out the Raptor. I know that Ford really screwed up, and they keep continuing to screw up as if they don't care about the Maverick. The Maverick sucks. I'm sorry. It looks nice, but they've just had, whether it's electrical or transmission or motor problems, they're just having nothing but problems every year that they spit out the Maverick. It's something is going wrong with it. And if I was a customer, if I was a Ford customer, I'd be really frustrated because I'm not a Ford customer. I really don't care, but it is a shame. Altogether, it is a shame because you see a lot of Mavericks out there because it's a nice little compact pickup truck that gets pretty darn good gas mileage, and yet you can still go to the store, to the hardware store, and load up 1,000 pounds of concrete bags in the back to take home or to a job site or wherever. You can put 40 bags of mulch in the back of the thing and haul it away. It works as a good small pickup truck that can do some half decent light to medium towing, and bed weight. So it's just they gotta fix the stuff that makes it run. But yeah, the Rangers do look nice, and I haven't really looked into them, but I also haven't heard a lot of negatives about them lately. Taking rental courses. But yeah, so it's kind of funny how Mrs. Urban and I both got new cars almost about 4 to 5 months apart last time, almost 8 years ago. And then now we're kind of doing it again, where both of us needed to get newer vehicles, newer, more reliable vehicles with way less miles on them, because we kind of we topped out with the two that we had. Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I'm in my live right now. I'll help you out in a minute. So yeah, so that's why we haven't or why I haven't done a live over the last couple Fridays is because the missus and I have been hard at it for vehicle shopping and getting all that figured out and taken care of. But yeah, and I'm still, for whatever reason, trying to get rid of whatever round of this cold cough flu thing that I've gotten. But no, we like the cars. We're happy with the cars. I do. The one thing that I miss that I really enjoyed with my older car was that the remote was a keyless entry, keyless start. Well, not keyless entry, but it was a keyless start. So literally, with my keys in my pocket, from the outside of my pocket, I could hit the lock or unlock button on the key to getting in and out of the vehicle, and then once I'm in, I just hit the start. You just hit the start button, and the car turns over and starts up, and you take off. Like, I could literally go my entire day and not take my car keys out of my pocket. Just didn't need to. And I really, really enjoyed that. I got really comfortable with that, and happy that I had that feature. Mrs. Urban's Traverse is like that. Hers has the remote and then push start inside the car. But and she didn't have that before. Her Honda Pilot had a physical key that she had put in the ignition. So now we've kind of flip-flopped. So now her Traverse has the push start, and she gets to enjoy that. And I'm back to having a physical key that I've got to put in the ignition. It's one of the keys that you press the button, it flips out from the side, so it's an automatic key deployment from the remote. But yeah, so that's kind of funny that we really just did a full-blown flip flop as far as whose vehicle has that fun, push button start. Hers does now, mine doesn't. Poor me, poor me. Now I have to suffer. Yeah, I was really looking and leaning towards your Frontier, towards your Nissan Frontiers, but but as much as I wanted a Tacoma, I was not really happy with the way Toyota's been doing their engines for their Tacomas over the last couple years. Yeah, so and then the pricing on the Tacomas have really been high over the last handful of years. Like, they just keep going up in price. So yeah, the Frontier is really nice. I agree. Yeah, the Frontier is definitely a good solid truck, and these days I would get a Frontier that's just a couple years old rather than the Toyota Tacomas that have those 4 cylinders, those with that are turboed or whatever. Yeah, they need. That's exactly what their problem is. Would you quit it, Zorro? Lay down. Just lay down. Dog's over here just like running in circles on his mat. It's annoying. Just lay down. Just lay down, Zorro. Crazy dog. But yeah, the Tacomas. I don't know why the hell. Well, I mean, I do know why they did that, but they really need to go back to that inline V6 that they had perfected for almost 2 decades. I mean, that's what they should have. They should have left it with that. But anyways, no new knives. I haven't been buying any knives because you know, one buying the cars, so I haven't bought any new knives recently. I've been honestly, without even thinking about it, I've just been carrying my Voodoo, my No Knives Voodoo. I've just been rocking this thing again along with my EMP EDC Pulse. Um, this guy's lived in my pocket for like 2 weeks. I've not switched up my rotation, which is rare for me. Usually every couple of days I pick another knife and I carry another knife every for 2 or 3 days and then, you know, rotate to another one. But I've just been so busy with things that that this guy has just ended up being the one living in my pocket because I mean I freaking love this knife. Absolutely love this knife. Everything about it is freaking spot on awesome to me. And then I have my pulse, which I need to sharpen again. My pulse needs sharpened. I've been cutting so many things with it. But yeah, the pulse needs to go to the sharpening block. The blade edge is looking a little rough. No, y'all can't really tell, but it's got a little bit of curling going on in some spots that I'd rather, because it's MagnaCut, I don't want to strop that. I would actually want to take stone to it and fine tune that back up and then strop it. So that's what needs to happen with this thing over the weekend, along with working. Oh, really, dang, Ross? So Toyota sold you on getting the Ranger instead of a Tacoma. Yeah, I mean, well, I mean, after Blade Show, I really only made. I still bought quite a number of knives last year. I bought probably about 8 or 9 knives last year. Yeah, about 8 or 9 for me, and then I got a couple for you guys, and then I got a couple. I bought 1 or 2 of them for Mrs. Urban, or well, one of them I didn't buy. I got it at Blade Show from, it was the Kaiser Nice Guy. So, but you've been good too. Yeah, B&A, tell us about this custom. Please tell us about this custom. We want to know. I want to know, man. Tell me about this custom knife that you are having done. You know, I'm still waiting. I have 2 knives that were purchased last year that have not gotten to me yet. One being Sharif Manganis's Aurelia. I might not get that thing until Blade Show this year when I see him at Blade Show. I don't know where he's at with the manufacturing of them. Whether or not he's, I mean, the last thing I heard, I think the last thing anybody really heard was that they were he was expecting to get them sometime in April. So then he would QC them and get them out sometime in May. Uh, yeah, yeah. So that's what I heard. DNA is getting a uh, a chest buster Ripley from Donnie Bless. And Donnie, I know we were talking. They were talking about it in the live on Wednesday. And Maddie and Stevie were talking about it uh, with the group. But yeah, Donnie Bless is just, oh my goodness, this dude is making leaps and bounds in the quality and the stunning innovation of of his uh, of his knives. Like he's just like every couple months, his next batch of whatever he makes is just so much. I mean, so much better and so much cooler than the last batch and the batch before that. Like he's growing in his skills and in fine tuning his designs and just the materials, the finish that he makes on the materials. It's mind blowing. Donnie is the man. Like he's the man. He's going to be setting the bar high for anybody else who makes custom knives. Like he is, I would say Donnie is getting creeping up really close to being the leader and like even above Chris Reeve knives. Like he is just for especially for the price range that he's keeping his knives in. He is, from what I understand, what's his price range, like 750 $800 I think is his low end um models designs, and then I think his high ends are what, around 13 1400, something like that. But for a designer, for a custom designer maker that is spitting out uh, the pieces that he's spitting out, um, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, I know his bottom is around that 750 $800 price range, or at least in the past it's been. Um, but I know that he's got a couple that he's made customs with some extras that have crept a little over 1,000. I think he's made. I don't know what he's charged Stevie for Stevie's, but um, and Stevie might have a special deal with him because Stevie could squash him with his fingers. I don't know, but hey, there's Maddie. What's up, Maddie? But yeah, B&A, the CRK doesn't really do, like, I like them. I like the designs. I like the Nkosi blade shape. Um, but I don't see in the handful that I've handled and messed around with. There's nothing special about them to me in my eyes, and that warrants me wanting to put that many dollars out towards one. I still believe that as good as your Chris Reeves knives are action wise with their washers, I still argue that the Spartan Harseys are better, and that's why I have a Spartan Harsey and not a Chris Reeve. I really like the Spartan Harsey, the 4 inch. Could not do anything other than the 4 inch. I could not get the smaller Harsey. I wouldn't have been happy with it. Had to get the big boy. Where is he, by the way? Where is my Spartan Harsey? He's in one of these two drawers. Yeah, here he is. In his typical home. But yeah. If you're gonna get the Harsey, get the 4 inch. That's what I say. I love the big bad boy. Yeah, such an amazing knife. I might carry him next week, a day or two. He make this thing cut a few things. I tend to baby it a little bit and not entirely treat it as a safe queen, but like sort of treat it as a safe queen. But no, I still carry it every once in a while and use it. It's one of those that, I just bring it out every once in a while. This is probably the last thing that I bought this year. Most recent purchase that I've had this year. This is the XL one. This is the one that's like 3.3 inches blade, and that's the G10 green G10 handle. Still the AR RPM 9 steel. Yeah, it's not their. This one doesn't have their new steel that's supposedly equal to or a step up from 154. That's what everybody says. They're comparing it to 154 CM. They're saying it's about as good or just maybe a hair bit better, waiting for further testing results per se. This guy, I'm going to carry this guy tomorrow. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to make sure that this guy gets carried, the Asher Spiro with the Wharncliffe blade in S90V, because I absolutely love S90V. I wish that he would sell the blue twill carbon fiber. And I wish that he would sell just the scales by themselves. So, because I would totally love to pick up a set of the blue twill carbon fiber scales to put on this guy. Because I didn't want to buy the blue one. Because what was the blue one in? I think it was when he came out with the blue one. The blue scaled version of this, it was in 20 CV, and I didn't want 20 CV. I like the S90, and I didn't want to have two of them just for the. I didn't want to buy two of them just for the sake of having the blue scales. But I do dig the blue scales. Really do dig that blue 12 carbon fiber scales that was on that guy. That thing was awesome. But yeah, I really don't have any. Well, I know I do have some other news. Um, I lost my other job. Not by any fault of mine, but I am now back to going El Solo with Lowe's for now. Um, yeah. Kate, really, Marisol? Casey ruined Blue Knives forever for you? Yeah, he kind of almost sort of did for me too. I'm just yeah, no. So what happened was they're having to restructure their maintenance department and because I believe my boss is needing to leave himself, and they didn't want to keep me on as an assistant and him leave. He needed to hire a full-time replacement. Yeah, no, Dodge did not get me. That's not what happened. So what happened was for the maintenance department for the property management company that I was working for. Um, the boss, the guy in charge of the maintenance department, he's got his mother with some severe family or some severe health issues, and he feels I think he's afraid that he's not going to be able to do the job um, from down in Orlando, which is 3.5 hour drive from here. He can't be down there and do this maintenance job as a full-time in charge of almost 100 properties. is what this company is trying to manage over. Yeah, 100 communities. Yeah, they're close to 100 communities. They're at like 92, 93, somewhere around there. And yeah, for to have three, there were three of us. There were three of us in the maintenance department. There was him, myself, and another person. And the third person, she was full time. She's full time, but she's the person that stays, for the most part, stays at the office and handles all the emails and phone calls from all the people that live in the apartments and condos and duplexes and whatever. And so she handles all that communication stuff for all the complaints that come in, and then assigns all the work orders for me and the boss guy to go out and take care of and make sure everything gets taken care of. Everything gets repaired and fixed and up and running and good to go again. So her position is completely safe because they're always going to need that position. His position, uh, he's looking for, basically he's looking for a replacement at this point. And because I cannot offer myself to be full time like that, basically what his hours are like is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So 12 hours every day during the week, and then being on call both Saturday and Sunday. So like this is like a full-time position, like always working, like always needing to be able to go out and meet the roofing guys or the concrete guys or the fence guys or the shingles guys or yeah, the he's always got to be on call, and he can't really do that if he's 3.5 hours away all the time. So they needed to get me off of the payroll so that they could put somebody new on the payroll that's going to be a full-time employee and basically pretty much step in and take over for him. So they let me go because I was not going to be able to do that for them, and so they needed to kill my part-time position. So yeah, so that's what happened. I got let go from that. That's not my first time being let go from a job. Never been fired before, and you're unfireable now. I wouldn't say that unless you're retired and you don't work at all. But so yeah, so now I'm back at just doing Lowe's, and so I'm trying to get more hours, fighting that battle of trying to get more hours at Lowe's and get enough to have a decent sized paycheck for what I need. Oh, you definitely quit a bunch of jobs? I got you. You own your own business, so you can't really fire yourself. I mean, you could, I guess. I would never want to own my own business. That would suck. I would not. I could not do that. Could not. Could not. Could not. Would not. um, let's look. Let's look at what has anybody. I've actually been so caught up with stuff that I've not even bothered to look for new knives. I'm just kind of waiting for Blade Show, I guess, and am waiting to get Sharif's knife, and then the other one that's coming and will probably possibly get to me uh, before I get Sharif's Aurelia is the extra large Pulse OTF from John from EMP EDC. I ordered the extra big the ginormous version of this. He's supposedly getting them in like any day now. Like any day. The last time I heard from him on that, well, the word was that they're supposed to be coming to him in March, and he intends to send them out, start sending them out by the second half of April. So that's his time frame on those. So I might get that one before I get Sharif's. Again, Sharif might not be giving me mine until I see my blade show at 1st of June. We'll see. We'll see what happens. But let's go ahead. Let's take a look if y'all haven't. Let's take a look at what White Mountain Knives has new lately. Some Two Sons. Those things are ugly. I hate those. The Midgard's Messer. Thunrar. Is that how you say that? Thunrar Nano. Little stubby guys. Could care less for that. Some lion steels, just generic shapes. Well, I mean, that one's kind of nice with the inlay. Come on, show me the picture of the show side. There we go. So you got the blue titanium with the micro milling job, and then you've got some blue fat carbon inlays. Yeah, not too bad. Kind of looks nice. Looks pretty clean. Is that a front flipper? It's a frame lock, milled pocket clip. Ooh, look at the milling lines going down the pocket clip, and that pocket clip is crowned. Very neat pocket clip. But they screwed it up. You see how they screwed it up? Y'all put in the comments, how did they screw this up? What's wrong with the way that this pocket clip is? If you own and carry some frame locks, you should know. You should know immediately that Lion Steel screwed this up. Where should the end of this pocket clip, that ramp part, where should it be sitting? Not where it's at right now. That sucker is wrong. Wrong. It should be over here on the frame and not on that lock bar. That is totally screwing up the way the detent, the closed detent, is probably strong on this, and you're not going to have as smooth of an opening because that pocket clip is putting pressure on that lock bar. And as soon as you put it in your hand and apply any amount of pressure to that pocket clip, intentionally or unintentionally, yeah, the action is going to be awful on this thing because of where that pocket clip lays onto that lock bar right there. Damn it, Lion Steel. What is wrong with y'all? Y'all screwed that up big time. That is terrible. Why? I mean, it's a good looking knife, but that is a complete no-go right there. Complete no-go. It's an interesting little front flipper tab, the way they did that. It's actually got a hole on it. But hey, come on, Lion Steel. What the hell is wrong with you? Isn't that terrible? Yeah, it'll scratch it up as well. That's right, Ed. Hey, Cheeto. What's up? No. Wrong, Ed. Yeah, there's been a number of us who have gone over this. I haven't really talked about it much in any of my lives, but I've been in the conversations with people. So MKM is a conglomerate of a handful It's Lion Steel and it's Viper knives, and it's and what's the other one that's the other bigger Italian, um, Giant Mouse, I think. Maybe it's MKM is like three or four Italian knife manufacturers, all your big knife manufacturers from in Italy that like compile together and use submit a handful of designs here and there, and then and collaborate and then make knives under the MKM brand. So that's what MKM is. Lion Steel influences and indulges in what MKM spits out, but not vice versa. Lion Steel is not MKM. MKM is not Lion Steel. Lion Steel is just one of the players in the MKM arena per se. I hope that makes sense. That's how I put it out. Here's the Vosteed parallel. Doesn't that look very similar to your Kershaw? What is it? Their Iridium knife? Isn't that basically the Iridium or a version of the Iridium? Similar vibes to Elise for sure, right? What does the, let me pull up the Kershaw Iridium. I mean, they're still different, so they're not copies. They're not. So okay, so here's the Vosteed parallel, right? So y'all see that one. Now let me switch to the Iridium. There we go. All right. So y'all see it? Y'all see what similarities they have? We'll switch back to the Vosteed there. So yeah, different blade shape for sure. Different blade shape, but the handle shape, it's got some similar vibes. They're different knives, okay, for sure. But I don't know. For whatever reason in my head, once I saw this Vosteed parallel, I felt like it was very, very similar to the Iridium. I guess it's not quite so much. Okay, whatever. That's where my head went when I saw that. Yeah, here's. Is there another knife that this Vosteed parallel is very similar to? That I just got confused. Yeah, it's not a station wagon deal. Thank you. You're so funny. Yeah, so going back to that, since Neil brought it up, because Neil brought it up, and I promise this is kind of funny because this was my conversation with one of my coworkers at Lowe's, because he also had basically the same the same thought. It was like, how are you gonna fit all your kids in there? And I was like, yeah. So the beauty is that Mrs. Urban's car is the 8-seater. Her vehicle has always been the bigger, because she's the mom. So the mom's supposed to, always have the vehicle that can haul all the kids. she likes having the vehicle that can haul all the kids. It just worked out really well when the kids were, 4, 5, 6 years younger, that I could take them, pack all of them in my vehicle as well. So we never had the issue of having to, say, okay, honey, because I need to be able to take all the kids this afternoon to this place or that place, I need you to drive my car today. We never had to deal with that before, and I didn't want to have to deal with that before. Now that most of the bulk of the kids, well, three of them are 15 and up, 15, 15 and a half, and 16. At least one of them is somewhere else, is staying after school for something, or at work, um, and then there's always one that wants to stay home, like doesn't want to go anywhere. So when I've got to take one or two kids to a place for an activity or whatever, um, usually I've got one that's already somewhere else doing their own thing, and I've got another one at home that does not want to go anywhere and just wants to stay at home. And then most half of the time, there's a second kid that also just wants to stay at home and not go anywhere. So we're at the point where, because of the ages of the bulk of the kids are in their teenage years and in high school, um, I really don't need to transport all seven of them, or eight of them, or 10 of them, however many there are. there's six kids, so I don't need to transport all six of them on a regular basis. The only time that we really need to do that is when we're going on a family outing or a family trip, and so there is all six of the kids plus the wife and myself. So that's when we need the 8-seater. And so it's fine that only one of our vehicles is capable of hauling all the kids plus us. And so now that I have, here's the funny part. Now that I have a vehicle that can't haul all six of them, I get to pick and choose who gets to come in my vehicle with me. So if I've got to go run a couple errands, obviously, I'll take, and I'm going to be out for more than a couple hours. I'm going to take little Suburban with me. He's going with me, period, if I'm going to be gone for any decent length of time. But if if and then I take, one or two others if I need to take them somewhere. So then I get to be a little choosy. Like, your butt is cranky today. I'm not happy with how you're talking to me, so your ass is staying home. You're not going in my car. You're not coming with me. You're staying home. And you're a little boo-hooey today and a little emotional, so your butt is staying home too, not taking your ass either. So now I get to be like, not only do I not want to take you, but I don't have the ability to take you because my car doesn't have enough seats. So it's kind of like I get to give them the middle finger, like, ha, you get to stay home and you get to stay home. Not just because I don't like you right now, but also because my car can't even take you anyways. So I get the excuse of saying, well, my car can only seat 5 people. 2 of y'all gotta stay. But yeah, I thought about, at one point, I thought about getting a limo. Like, how cool would it be every once in a while to just drive my family around in a goddamn limo? Like, how cool would that be? But those are expensive. It's a pain in the ass to maneuver through parking lots and park a damn limo. So yeah, it would be cool, but it's not practical. It doesn't make sense. All right, y'all chit chat amongst yourselves for a little bit. I gotta check on the food and make sure the kids are eating. All right, I'll be right back. Give me about 4 or 5 minutes. Alrighty, I'm back. Y'all miss me? No, probably not. Maddie, you're so funny. With Urban gone, it's been his best live. Is it really? Is it really all that much better when I'm not here? Yeah, this. There we go, Marco. Nice. This live will roll into said faction just nicely, just nicely. Honestly, I don't have any news for you guys. At this point, let's go ahead and get rid of. Y'all are done, I'm sure. Looking at. Gotcha, Maddie. He got you back. Yeah. So let's see. There's really nothing else that I have for you guys. Yeah. Anybody else have any news on anything? I know Blade Show Texas just wrapped up, so we should be having Blade Show Atlanta tickets go on sale within the next week or two. Yeah, we should. O'Neill won a from where? Justin's. Congrats! Yeah, congrats, Neil. That's awesome. That's cool. Yeah, I did, Maddie. Well, what do you want me to talk about, Maddie? What do you want me to talk about? Hmm? Hmm? I made here. Let me grab it real quick. Take two seconds to grab. So I don't know if I showed this off the last time, but I was making it. It's just a little miniature vase, and I was thinking about getting some potpourri sticks or some cinnamon sticks. Maybe that's what I should do. I should put just some cinnamon sticks in this. Wouldn't that complement it nicely and just give it, something to put in the hole, to fill the hole? Right? That's what she said. Just fill my hole. uh, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. Y'all know I am. But yeah, so this is cedar, made out of cedar. So it's a nice little vase, little miniature vase. It's only about 3 inches tall or so, something like that. Let's see, we can get out the Jason's ruler. Yeah, 3.5 inches. 3.5 inches tall. But yeah, out of cedar, so it smells nice. And I sanded it super smooth. It is like velvety smooth. No, I am not adopting six other kids. No, when I'm already fixed, so I can't create anymore myself. And Mrs. Urban does not want any more kids either, so we are completely done. Suburban is it. He's the final one. He's our last hope of creating a successful contribution to society. The rest of them will be all right, but yeah. So, hey, Suburban, you want to say hi or goodbye? He's not really feeling well. Did you go drink some water? Put a nice cold compress on your forehead. I'll get you some Tylenol in a minute. He spiked a fever. Picked up something today. He's running just a very low grade fever. He's kind of starting to feel a little crappy. Maybe he'll go to bed early. He's still ripping live rounds. What? All right, yeah, Suburban's not feeling great. You're not that old. You're not 48 with a 3-year-old. I hope nobody's. I ran into a dude just the other day who's like 53, 54, and he's got a 6-year-old. And I was just like, dang. I think he said he was like a 5 or 6 year old. What? What's the matter? Wrap it in here. You gotta quit crying. All right, let me. I'm sorry, fellas. I'm sorry, guys, but duty calls parent here. Um, I'm gonna have to call it a night so I can take care of Suburban. He's just not. He's tired. He's cranky, and he's not feeling the greatest. So I gotta go take care of my boy. And yeah, y'all have a good night. I'm sorry, kind of ending this a little awkwardly. Um, but yeah, y'all understand. Y'all understand. I gotta take care of the kids. Gotta be the dad. Gotta be the good dad. All right. So y'all have a good weekend. I'll see you in other chats. Um, I might. No, I probably won't stay up because I do have to work at Lowe's in the morning. So I don't know. I might pop in for Maddie's late night with Stevie. If I do, it'll just be a quick hey. But I'll see y'all later during the weekend. And next Friday, unless something comes up, next Friday I'll do a giveaway. We'll do a giveaway next Friday unless something comes up. But that's the plan. That's the plan. Don't hold me to it, but that is the plan. Okay? We'll do a giveaway next Friday. All right. Thank y'all for hanging in there. Sorry it got a little weird here at the end, but y'all take care. I appreciate y'all. I'm out of here. Peace.